Hi, hello Drag Race fans, it is your least favorite delusional Drag Race commentator. My name is Jer, and today the category is double shantays. So let's get into this. Who got them originally and who would I have given them to in their season? Now, quick breakdown, double shantays are typically used as production plot devices to propel somebody through the competition. We see this happen in the very first double shantay, where Carmen was clearly a front runner in the eyes of the judges, and they really wanted to make sure that they kept her long term. We saw a couple times where there was a disqualification and somebody had to leave, therefore somebody was double saved. But even in those moments, did someone else deserve that double save more than the girls who got it? In multiple situations, people are pushed through because they are seen as a front runner, they are seen as serious competition, and they want to give them a shot for one more chance. This leads to a little bit of instability within the competition, and unfortunately some people slip through the cracks and don't get the fair shot they deserved, even though they rightfully killed a lip sync. So let's get into this, starting in the very first season where this happens, in season 3 between Yara Sofia and Carmen. They were lip syncing to Hey Mickey, and this was a pretty controversial lip sync because Carmen got off the stage to go and kiss Johnny Weir. In this particular lip sync, I didn't particularly agree with Yara being in the bottom in the first place. That's a different story for a different day. But in this lip sync, I think Yara was turning it out. Now, there was the B plot line of, could Carmen lip sync in Spanish? That was a big plot point this episode. They were talking about, could Carmen even speak Spanish? Because Carmen is Puerto Rican, but does not make that her identity like how Yara and Alexis did. They were very proud of being Puerto Rican. Where Carmen was very much just embracing her Jersey thing and seemed to, in their eyes, abandon her culture, and they really wanted to see her embrace it. So part of me feels like Carmen was put in the bottom specifically to address this plot point, make a little bit of television. Yara was there obviously to show them how it's done, so in the event that Yara beat them, they could have a plot point that these girls were right, or they could have something triumphant that, look, in the face of adversity, Carmen is going to rise up against it. And I think that is an interesting plot point. However, was this the most dynamic lip sync in the entire bunch? I don't know. In my opinion, the lip sync that deserved the double save more than anything was straight up Tell Me during the makeover challenge with Carmen and Raja, which is ironic because I don't think that Carmen deserved the save during the American episode. I think that she deserved it that second time because that lip sync between her and Raja is so mother flippin' iconic. Carmen deserved a chance to get to the next episode purely based off of that lip sync. Because up until that point, Carmen was kind of detached from the competition, and when she came back, she was full lens focused on what was going on. And in my opinion, the straight up lip sync was the lip sync that should have deserved the double save. Next we go into season 4 with its Reign in Men. This was between Jeremy and Redacted. This lip sync was a double save on Technicality because Willem was getting disqualified for her actions during the show. That being having a phone, communicating with the outside world, breaking a lot of the competition rules, and trying to desperately get out of Drag Race to go fulfill prior commitments. So inevitably, Willem would have been disqualified and someone would have been double saved. This lip sync is an odd one because I think they were both really strong and they had good storylines to get to the end. Personally, because Jeremy lost the wig, I don't think that was qualifications to keep him. In my preference, I would have given the double win to Latrice and Dita Ritz during the political challenge, because I believe with my whole heart that Dita Ritz is a superstar and absolutely demolished that lip sync along with Latrice. I don't know if they could have done it right then and there because they were bringing someone back the very next week, but it also would have made great drama to not only save someone and then bring someone back, because then the stakes are even higher, and then potentially both of those bottom queens would be there again. That could have been an interesting piece, and I imagine that if Jeremy was eliminated during the Reigning Men with Willem, which would have also been excellent television, he would have come back during the Baby Mama challenge and probably would have won and we would have seen Dita and Latrice in the bottom once again. And then we would have seen a second face-off between these two really iconic lip sync assassins. Coming into season 5, this might be a hot take, but I think a lot of people agree with it. The Whip My Hair Back and Forth lip sync was a clear win for Roxy Andrews. Most people agree that Alyssa Edwards would have gone home that week had it not been a double save, but they really needed to retain that drama with Coco and Alyssa. There was no doubt about it, they were making excellent television, and there was no way to cut either one of them until the two of them could go head to head and finally battle it out. However, in my delusional opinion, the best lip sync of the entire season, hands down, was I'm So Excited by Jade Jolie and Coco Montrese. Realistically, in my opinion, no one could have taken out Coco with the exception of Alyssa or Detox. Nobody. Coco was and continues to be one of the strongest lip syncers of the entire franchise. She puts her entire body into her lip syncing. Everything about her is perfection while she lip syncs. She is performing at the highest level of drag when she lip syncs. And realistically, nobody was keeping up with her in any of those lip syncs. Except for Jade Jolie. When that lip sync started, you could see Jade be fully present. That moment of her bombing, Can I Get an Amen, so badly. Suddenly everything clicked that it was almost over. And then going against her friend made it doubly hard. But Jade held her own and stuck to that lip sync. Jade delivered something that I didn't see from really anybody else that season going against Coco, and that was determination to beat her. Most people during Coco's lip sync sort of resign. You can see them think, I'm probably not gonna win this one, and they mentally check out and just try to have fun with it. Jade went full balls to the walls with it and absolutely put her soul into that lip sync. She did everything she was supposed to do, despite wearing a hideous, horrendous, offensive costume to drag, to art, to design, and to life. Jade put everything into it, and because of that, I would have given the double save to Coco and Jade. And I would have eliminated Alyssa during that Whip My Hair Back and Forth lip sync. Following into season 6 with Point of No Return with Dela and Darian, I thoroughly disagree with this bottom placement entirely. This, in my opinion, should have been Courtney and Jocelyn. You can go back and watch my season 6 rejudged video and see that I would have eliminated Courtney here. Because I don't think that Darian and Dela were the worst of that week. I also disagreed with the top that week, as it should have been Bianca and Trinity. But that is such a different conversation than what we're addressing now. I just needed it to be out there, okay? This lip sync was really strong, and the reason why they kept both of them, in my opinion, was because they needed them to get to the end. Dela was a clear front runner, and so was Darian, and they needed to see how the cards were gonna play out. So I think they put them neck and neck just to see what would happen with the tension that was going on, because there was tension between the two of them. I think that was an incorrect call, and I think it would have made better television to get some resolve on the Courtney Jocelyn thing, but then they would have sacrificed a frontrunner, and they weren't willing to do that. Who would I have given the lip sync to, you ask? Thank you so much for asking, I'm so glad you did. I would have given the lip sync win to Stupid Girls between Jocelyn and Laganja. And if you've seen that lip sync, you know about the iconic double split at the exact same time that was unplanned. That lip sync was such a level of servitude and contitude. I don't think anything even got close to that until the Free Willy moment between Anitra and Marsha. That lip sync took my breath away. And I also thoroughly disagree with Laganja's placement during that episode too, because her set was funny. That's beyond the point. That lip sync was one of the best of the season, in my opinion. There were some really great ones throughout that season, and I feel like there are many that did deserve that extra shot. I mean, this was a really iconic season for performers and performance. Maybe the song choices were not the best, but the performers did everything they could with the mix. And even though I love Dela with my whole heart and soul, I do agree that Darian won that lip sync fair and square. I don't think that Dela did. Whereas I felt like Jocelyn and Laganja really put their whole souls into that Stupid Girls lip sync and deserved the double save. This would put a gigantic wrench in the entire production of season 6, but then again, I wouldn't have put Dela or Darian in the bottom for that challenge in the first place. Next up is season 9 between Pheromone and Cynthia Lee Fontaine. This song was Woman Up by Meghan Trainor, and this was one of those where a disqualification was the result of the double save. Once again, I am not rewarding a double save here because I think that Farrah ate Cynthia up. I would have sent Eureka home, and I would have also eliminated Santi Ali Fontaine because her performance in the challenge was weak and the lip sync was weak, and we saw that she didn't do great in the next episode. We see that her double save wasn't totally conducive to her momentum in the competition. This is one of those double saves where I don't think it was done to create any particular drama. I think their hands were tied. I think they had no choice but to send home Eureka, and they didn't buy enough episodes to save someone that season. So they had to make a decision when to send Eureka home, and it just happened to fall on Cynthia, who maybe was someone they were hoping was going to do better. I think they secretly knew that Cynthia was not on an uphill trajectory after this lip sync, and I feel like this is one of those that was not done with production meddling in mind. This was incidental. So who would I have given the double save to after eliminating Cynthia and Eureka this episode? Thank you so much for asking. You are such a good audience. I would have given it to Farrah Moan and Alexis Michelle during the roast challenge. That Dolly Parton lip sync was spectacular. Call me delusional, but I feel like Farrah kept up with Alexis. And Alexis was someone who was really dominating her lip syncs. I think that's where Alexis thrives, is in performance. And having a Dolly song was something that was very in line with her theatrics, and I was surprised to see that Farrah was keeping up. And to Baby I'm Burnin', I didn't think that Farrah would be able to turn out what she did that episode. But she didn't, she kept up with Alexis, so I would have awarded the double save there. Following into season 10, we have new attitude with Eureka and Cameron. This is a controversial lip sync for a lot of people because they were getting tired of seeing Cameron in the bottom, and they were tired of seeing Eureka in the competition. And with all the current Eureka drama, I don't think it's gonna be that controversial to say that I would have also eliminated Eureka in that moment. Besides the fact that Cameron looked so incredible in that runway, and Eureka was present, I guess, I would have absolutely not given the double win to that particular lip sync. The two that come to mind that I'm pretty conflicted about is Good as Hell with Monet and Cameron, and Monet and Dusty in Pound the Alarm. Monet is the common factor here because she really turned out both of those lip syncs, and in the original double save for this season, it was really just to push Eureka to the finale because they were really dead set on getting Eureka there at all costs, even if it meant giving a sort of unjust double save because she got devoured in that lip sync. And so I'm conflicted on which two I would have given it to. Between these two, who would you have awarded it to? Good as Hell or Pound the Alarm? My brain almost wants to give it to Dusty and Monet because I really liked what Dusty was doing and I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more from her. But conversely, I would have liked to have seen Monet go farther in that season because she really deserved it. Monet was on a complete upward trajectory that whole competition, and Good as Hell felt like a bad one to send her home on, especially when Eureka performed so poorly in that makeover. Going into season 11, Sorry Not Sorry between Brooke and Evie, this is one of my favorite lip syncs of the entire franchise, and to be honest, nothing else this season was as strong as that one. Here's a controversial opinion and take. I don't think that Evie was on production's radar. I think they had her as a frontrunner for a couple episodes, but then she kind of flopped the Monster Ball, and I think that she wasn't quite delivering what they were hoping Evie was going to deliver. I think they were hoping that she was going to give a redacted 2.0, but without all the problematic behavior, and that didn't really pan out. Evie was so multi-talented that I think they just sort of put her on the back burner along with queens like Sugar Cane, because they just didn't see them as frontrunners. I think at the time, they were very focused on Plastique, but after she bombed the Snatch Game and after Evie really overperformed the hell out of this number, I think you can really see a production shift to more eyes on Evie and Brooke. I do believe that Brooke was always a frontrunner, and I think she was always going to go to the end, but how do you deny Sorry Not Sorry when Evie is denying every single rumor about her in the workroom that she is too injured to compete, that she doesn't have the energy to do it, that she needs to go home because of her injury. So I would have given the double save specifically to them and to no one else. And in season 12, a similar situation. I wouldn't have given the double save to anybody else except for Jackie and Heidi. In this particular episode, I do think that the double save was also incidental. I don't believe they would have sent anybody home during a super fan makeover, because the last thing they would want is to bring ladies in who love the show, who crave more from the show, and then hurt their feelings by sending someone home so that their memory of Drag Race is always tainted forever by feeling that they were responsible for sending somebody home and crushing someone's dreams because they didn't do well enough. And that would have been a terrible impression to leave on someone vulnerable. And I'm so glad the production was aware that that would have been the perception from fans and from those super fans. So I think no matter who was in the bottom, I think they always would have been double saved. But it just worked out really well that both Heidi and Jackie chose a disco theme for Kill the Lights. They obliterated this song, both with very different interpretations of what this song could have been, and that lip sync is burned in my memory. Jackie walking around like a crazy person, clutching onto Heidi's shoulder, peeking around her and popping up from places. Jackie really thrived in that lip sync. Moving into season 13, Candy Muse and Simone to Boss. We all know that Candy was definitely a production pick to make it to the end. And Candy was clearly being favored that whole season. We saw it episode after episode. And I think it was inevitable that Rue was going to save her from the bottom no matter when she lip sync and potentially got eliminated. In my opinion, she went home rightfully, and I would not have awarded the double save there. Surprise. I would have awarded the double save to Olivia and Denali during the makeover challenge. One, because they both killed the Shackles lip sync. This was the second time we've seen this song on Drag Race, and the first time was fine, but this time, there was passion and soul and energy in it. Additionally, much like a lot of these other bottom placements, I don't believe that either one of them should have been in the bottom for that makeover. As a matter of fact, Tina Burner should have gone to federal prison, Guantanamo even, for what she did to Rosé's face. Laws were violated. Federally, internationally, Olivia and Denali had no business being in the bottom, and because they both performed so well, they should have made it to the next episode together. But also, I'm a Denali apologist, and I think she should have been top 4, so what do I know? Season 14, I have 0 notes. As a matter of fact, I would have kept literally every single one of those girls non-elimination style all the way to the end, because I loved 14. That cast could have been the Drag Race cast forever, which is why I'm currently rooting for Angeria to win All Stars 9, because I love those girls. And finally, for a mainline season, the last double save was in season 15 at the finale between Anitra and Mistress. And this was when Love Takes Over, and to be honest, going into a top 3 to the finale feels weird after all these seasons. We've had a couple seasons where we've been forced to go to a top 3 based off of a disqualification of a problematic cast member, or because we were in early seasons and the finale only had 3 folks. But I think 4 is the sweet spot. Would I have given the double save to Marcia and to Anitra? 100%. Boss Bitch is one of the best lip syncs probably of all time, across all generations, across all televisions. Realistically, I would have given it to both of them during Boss Bitch, and I probably would have eliminated both Lucy and Selena during Running Up That Hill, because Running Up That Hill was atrocious. But are we ready to talk about that? I don't think so. And then maybe this double save wouldn't have even needed to happen, and it could have just been top 4, everybody lip syncs, you're all going to the finale, congratulations, happy fun time, we're top 4, bye. And with that, that has been yet another Hot Takes by Jer. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what lip syncs you would have double saved from these seasons, or would you have kept the original ones? Also, are there any seasons where you felt like there was a double save that was deserved but didn't actually happen? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see my bootleg opinions on who I would have double saved when a season did not have a double save, let me know, I'll make that video. See you on the flip. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Goodbye.